So yesterday, whoa, what a shindig. You know what I mean? They were cutting a rug at the White House.
And there's not a better party tune than Fire and Rain.
Yeah, Fire
about
and Rain.
Suicide and horrible instances in your life.
Up on the roof, hey, if you're a cancer patient, don't jump. I thought maybe that could happen. Anyway, it was wonderful. Here's Nancy Pelosi. Cut 18, please. Nancy Pelosi.
Inflation Reduction Act, so beautifully named for all that it does.
Yeah.
As the name suggests, this landmark law is cutting costs and inflation fighting and driving down costs.
Pause. Is that true at all?
No.
No, that's not true.
No.
At all. The inflation numbers have come out. That is not true. Do you know the only place where inflation is going down is energy, oil, gas? Why is that? Well, because of some demand destruction. And when someone says to you, what the Fed is trying to do is they're looking for demand destruction, what does that mean? Well, just put your name and your bank account and replace demand with that. So Glenn's bank account at the South Lake Bank. What the Fed is really trying to do is they're looking for Glenn Beck's account at South Lake to be destroyed. That's literally what demand destruction means. You won't have the money to be able to buy anything. So the demand is destroyed. Just keep that in mind when you hear that. Now, the other thing, do we have the chart? I think we were going to show it next hour, but yeah, there it is. Look at this chart, Pat. How would you describe that? A reverse hockey stick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Flat line, then all of a sudden just nosedives. Do you know what that is?
No.
That's the strategic oil reserves.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Jeez.
And this was before they did another, 80 million gallons recently? This isn't even current. Look at where our oil reserves are. Isn't that great? I love that.
Lowest level, I think, in
Ever.
40 years.
Yeah, I think it might be ever at this point, since we started it in the 1970s.
Yeah.
So the strategic oil reserve, that is why your gas price is going down. He is using the strategic oil reserve to make sure the elections go a little better than they would. He's trying to convince you that everything is great. But the thing is, nobody's buying it. Even the people in the audience. Cut 19.
Mr. President, thank you for unifying and inspiring a vision of a stronger, fairer, safer future for all, for our children. Your extraordinary leadership has made this glorious day possible.
Okay, stop. Stop. Just a sec. I got to go back. Did you hear what she said? It's a safer America.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Is it? I mean, everything is so demonstrably false. Is it a safer America?
No. There's no question.
There's no question.
All the crime stats.
It's a
bear that out.
Is it a fairer America?
No.
Okay. Now, why would you say that, Pat?
Well, for one thing, because some of us are paying for other people's college funds.
Oh, my gosh.
And taking away their debt for them. With our money.
Why are you such a hater? Why are you such a hater?
I don't know. I'm not sure how that happened.
Here's what you really have to quote. Under Joe Biden, the fairness, the gap between rich and poor has gone up for the first time in like 8 years.
Wow.
Okay? So we are actually becoming less fair under Joe Biden. All right. So she says this. Go ahead. Play it again, please.
Mr. President, thank you for unifying and inspiring a vision of a stronger,
not true,
fairer,
nope,
safer
future
for all, for our children.
Yes.
Your extraordinary leadership has made this glorious day possible. That's an applause line.
I love that.
If you have to tell them it's an applause line, it's not
an applause line.
An applause
No.
line.
It's not like everybody was sitting there stunned going, you got to be kidding me, right? I mean, it's an applause line. You will applaud. It is. It's nuts. And if you happen to not be there, let's play a little, please, of James Taylor just partying down. Listen, he sounds so young, too, here.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne Clancy may put an end to you.
Okay. So we
All
got
right. Where's the party hat?
Yeah. Well, the ink spots couldn't make it, so they had to go with James Taylor, and it was a party. Unfortunately, this happened in the middle of the party, and the party goers didn't hear it, but everyone else did. Cut 28.
For years, so many of us have been
Cut
trying to
28,
fix
please.
this problem.
This it?
But for years, Big Pharma blocked Medicare from negotiating lower drug practices.
Practices.
All right, I do not want to be a party crasher, but we interrupt this celebration for a hard, cold dose of reality. Stocks tanking because inflation is accelerating. The very inflation that the president said he's made great progress addressing, heralding his inflation
Okay,
reduction.
stop. We're watching something that rarely happens in the free world. We are watching the worst propaganda ever devised. This is horrible propaganda. Horrible propaganda. The state is saying one thing. Do you remember when I was growing up? So you have to be, you got to be an old fart like me. But I remember thinking, how do people in Russia believe any of this stuff? And it's because they had total control of everything that was said. Now imagine if one day you turn on this program and all you hear is, that might leave a vacuum. And all you can hear is what the government was saying without an interruption of breaking news of how bad the stock market is going. That's how you believe it. That's why they are silencing any other voice. It is why it is so vital. People ask me all the time, how do I know what's true? What sources do you trust? Listen to me. I don't trust anybody. I don't even trust. We check things 6 ways to Sunday. And if we get it wrong, we come back and we'll tell you. I don't know how many people do that. I know there are a few sources. Just the News is a very good source you should read every day. But if I may, I hate to sound like I'm just hawking this, but I am because I believe in it. BlazeTV.com. Please become a subscriber. You are going to find more things on just what happened during COVID. You are going to learn, Steve Deace and Horowitz, they have gone so deep onto that. They are the leaders on what really happened. Most of this stuff cannot be put onto social media. In fact, I don't think any of it can now be put on social media. Even though what they've been saying has been proven time and time again. They'll come out and admit it, but you still can't say it. Please join us at blazetv.com. We really need to stay in touch with each other. And although, by the way, also, you can get my show prep for this program free every day at glennbeck.com. Just sign up for it. All right. So we have the income inequality spiking for the first time in 10 years. We have inflation, the actual number going down, but only in the category of energy. And they expect you to say, oh, no, it's getting so much better. But you know because you buy other things. Inflation is actually up everywhere else. You know what is true. This is something we talked about yesterday. You know what is true. When you hear people repeatedly lie to you or repeatedly wrong and then don't correct it, when the facts come out and they go, oh, that's really a Hunter Biden thing. It really is real. If they're hedging their bet at all, if they are not asking for a mea culpa, if they're not saying, please forgive us for that, boy, were we wrong and we've learned a lesson and we're going to do X, Y, and Z from here on out. You've heard the New York Times bury the fact that it's real and then just go on like they've reported it real the whole time. You got to stop listening to those people. And it is time, honestly, to move on from the people who don't have ears or eyes. This is a really difficult job to do because I'm trying to attract a big audience, get it as big as we possibly can, so more and more people can hear the truth, or at least hear what I believe is true, and let them decide on their own. But I'm trying to balance. How do I do that? Because you know what? There are so many people now that time is running short. And you need to know what to do. Not just what's happening, but what to do. I've been working on these things for a couple of months now. And my job is to warn you. It's not to give you an out. But there are things that I know that can be done and things that you need to know. And warning, for instance, the big raid yesterday on Mike Lindell at a Hardee's. I mean, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Just shows you, too. They've been
following him
around. That's incredible.
Yeah, and they come out guns a-blazing while he's at a drive-thru in Hardee's. We need your phone. Get out of the car. We need your phone. What the hell is that? Like he's, terrorist number one. What was that all about? What was the story that happened, I think, in New Jersey? The woman that was on Tucker Carlson last night that said the FBI came armed, came to her house and said, hey, we understand through an anonymous tip that you were at January 6th. What is that all about?
And she wasn't, by the way.
Yeah, she wasn't. She wasn't there. And you're getting an anonymous tip and you're coming with guns? What are you talking about? She was terrified, absolutely terrified. I don't want you to be terrified. I want you to know what your rights are and exactly how to do things. Coming in, within the next couple of months, before the election, we are going to do a serious special, not an hour long. We're going to remember when we did the Common Core thing? We brought all the experts in, and it was like a 2-hour extravaganza where we brought the experts in and we told you exactly what to look for, where to find it, and what to do. We're going to do that again, and we'll do it as a special before the elections because this is happening. And you need to be prepared. What that lady did, what she said last night to Tucker when she said, well, I just, I did this and this and this. She did the wrong thing. But that's because she didn't know, because we've never had to deal with this before. Please join us at blazetv.com/Glenn20. If you use the promo code Glenn20, you're going to save $20 off of your year's subscription. So join us in this. We're going to need each other.